Welcome to our daily horrors. I'm Meeka Nomicon, and today we're back with the wonderful world of Aurorian. And while I say we're back, actually Lune and Her Illusion is the first installment in the series, but it has recently been given an English translation, which I am very grateful for. So, let's check out where it all started, shall we? That day. It was an ordinary day. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing special. Neither today nor yesterday, nor for such a long time that I can hardly remember. But a thought and memory assailed my mind. The memories of my childhood. Those days when the world seemed to be more colourful, more lively. Now, I'm always wandering around on my own, wrapped up in my own things, in my own obligations. In the past, I remember my parents trying to spend as much time as they could with me, playing, laughing, or doing whatever they could. The echoes of laughter and even daily discussions are no longer resounding in these walls. In one of those many memories, I ended up noticing that today was the last time an old market I used to visit with my parents would be open. Perhaps driven by some nostalgia, I headed for the place. What I wouldn't know is that little decision, on this little insignificant day, it could change everything. The beginning of a dream, or of a nightmare. When I arrived, the bustle of people was overwhelming. I started to walk the streets, alone, remembering in my head what it was like to do it hand in hand with my parents back then. The difference was a little heartbreaking. I looked around at the various items the sellers were displaying on their stalls. Some handmade, some not so much, but certainly nothing surprised me as it did when I was a child. The smell of the food stalls flooding my nostrils. The warmth of my parents, or that curiosity with which I let myself be carried away by so many new stimuli. That's all gone now, I guess. I'm starting to feel tired. I think I'll find a place to lie down for a while and rest. Wait, in public? You're really gonna sleep in public? That seems a bit daring. I turned away and looked for a quieter place. For a while, I melted into the mass of people, moving from one side to the other, until I found myself in a more distant place. This looks like a good place to lie down. I'm pretty tired from the trip. You know what? I'm actually going to agree. This actually looks like a nice place for a nap. There were not many people around, so I lay down on the grass. And wrapped up in my thoughts, slowly my eyes were closed. Slowly. Huh? My poor baby. It is time for you to wake up. Damn! I fell asleep. That was the objective, Darren. Or do we have different definitions of the word nap? Still half drowsy, I tried to get up as best I could and looked around. Actually, now I think about it, maybe all you intended to do was that thing where you're not actually sleeping, you just got your eyes closed and ignore everything. Not that I've ever done that. Nope. There was something strange in the atmosphere. Then I looked up at the moon. Is the moon greenish in colour, or am I still dreaming? If it was daylight just now, have I slept that long? No, this is not normal. I mean, it is for my naps. I'll tell you, a 20-minute nap turns into 5 hours later. I am awake, no doubt about it, but the moon? What happened while I was sleeping? I looked around, but no one was there. All was silent, even though the lights were still on. It looked like a ghost town at this time. I decided to go deeper into the streets and look for anyone who could explain to me what happened while I was not conscious. Is this a joke? Am I in a very real dream or what? That's when I saw her. In front of me, a dark-haired girl appeared. The light from the sky hit her directly, almost like a daughter of the moon, or perhaps of the night itself. She looked at me. We looked at each other. You? What are you doing here? Can you see me? What do you mean? What am I doing here? I came by car to visit the old market, and of course I can see you. Why is there no one else in the streets? What has happened? Why does the sky look so strange? The girl lowered her gaze. Without saying much more, we both walked out of the alley into a better lit street. Tell me, what happened here? What is your name? My name? My name is Lune. Lune Amaris. And you? What's your name? My name is Darren. What has happened here? Why did you ask me if I could see you? Where are the others? I guess you don't know anything. It makes sense. Excuse me. There's no one else here. You're still sleeping. Or so I believe. I've been trapped here for longer than I can remember, invisible to the rest. And never before has anyone been able to set foot on this plane for too long. So, what do you propose or mean? That I will be trapped in this place forever? I don't know. Do you want to leave now? Of course! All this is strange. It's not normal at all. The people, my friends, my parents, they can't just disappear. There must be a way to wake up, right? Oh! Yes, you are right. It's just that... nothing. Forget it. So, come with me and let's find a way to get you back. Is that okay with you? I mean, do we trust Lune? See, the way I feel like it's gonna go is that she's lonely, right? I'm the first person that's managed to get into this dreamscape with her for quite a long time. So, do we trust that she's actually gonna try and wake me up? You know what? I'll go with it for now. Sure, I'll go with you. Yeah, I'll go with you. Could you help me? I think you know better than I do what's going on, or what this is all about. Of course. Come. Lune looked quite pleased with my answer, and quickly took my hand and started walking, smiling all the while. See? I knew I don't trust her at all. We walked through the streets, but no one was to be seen. Nor could we hear anything. Everything was completely enveloped in a deserted silence. Partly, it was a bit desolate, and it made me feel uneasily. A discomfort which, perhaps fortunately, was interrupted by the warmth of Lune's hand. But more importantly, could she really help me? Maybe she has the answers I'm looking for. After a few minutes, we arrived at what looked like a small square. Lune let go of my hand and stood next to me. Hey, Damon, tell me, do you remember if anything unusual happened before you got here? No, apart from the fact of the strange colour of the sky, nothing. I just fell asleep on the grass. Do you think that has anything to do with it? No, I don't think so. It's still strange though. And what exactly is this place supposed to be? Why are you here? To be honest, I couldn't give you a clear answer. This place, or however you prefer to say it, has been all I know. I don't remember if one day I just woke up here like you or not. For as long as I can remember, I've been here and I never questioned it.
So, you have never seen another person?
Yes, I have seen them. But I have never been able to get as close to someone as I am now. There are nights when the weight of the night seem lighter, and small silhouettes of the people on the other side can be seen. It's almost as if this place is the other side of a reflection. In fact, we are not the only ones who inhabit this place.
What do you mean?
This is like a dream for you, isn't it? Then you should get an idea if I told you that there may also be nightmarish things in it. I have rarely seen them, but along with these mirages, I have also been able to see certain things. Not very pleasant. That's why you should stay with me. You could be in danger if you go out there alone.
You know what? I know I said I don't trust her, and I still don't trust her, but we've come this far. I'll continue to listen to you. Alright, I won't leave your side. Thank you for letting me know.
Of course. I will protect you from any evil. In any case, we should now think about what we could do. Don't you agree?
You're right. What's your idea?
We could walk some more, or maybe go somewhere else.
Lune held out her hand again, waiting for me.
It's just to keep you together, even if it's just you and me. It would be bad if you got lost, wouldn't it?
I grabbed her hand, and even though she was the one who took the initiative, she was shyly surprised. I asked her, "So, where are we going?"
Let's go downtown. Maybe we can find some clues there. There are many interesting shops and things to do. I always wanted to go there with someone.
Lune and I walked quietly through the empty streets. I still couldn't get used to this desolation. We both arrived at what looked like the center of town, or what once was.
And here we are. We arrived quite quickly.
You seem to know the town very well. What did you used to do before I came here?
Me? What did I used to do? Well, I just wandered around.
All in all, if we are in a dream and assuming the madness that is going on, does that mean that you are a kind of spirit?
I guess I am.
So you've survived this long without food or needing anything else, right?
I don't need to feed myself. Although, that doesn't mean that even a spirit like me needs some things to be well. In fact,
Lune grabbed my clothes while her gaze was lost in thought for a moment.
Let's keep looking around town, shall we? Where do you want to go first?
Okay, so we could search for books or follow down the street. What do we fancy doing? How about, let's just go down the street. Let's keep walking. Maybe we'll find something interesting down the street. Anyway, I'm a bit confused and lost. Or do you have a better idea?
No. Let's keep walking some more.
Do we think she didn't like my answer? Do you think she wanted to look for books? We went through the streets, checked some windows, shops, but there was nothing relevant or that could help me know what was going on. And most importantly, to know how to get back. Should I just admit that all this was real? I was getting more and more confused. We walked down the street, and my head kept spinning. The thought crossed my mind that maybe Lune was not as good and kind as she seemed. After all,
She is the only one who should really know why all this madness is happening.
I mean, I did admit that I don't trust her, but I don't think she's malicious. I think she's just lonely.
Hey, Darren, there's a little food shop here. Do you want me to bring you something? I don't need anything, but I imagine that you must be tired and hungry.
Oh, right.
Is everything all right? You seem a bit absent or distant for quite a while now.
There's nothing wrong with me. It's just that I might be tired and a bit hungry after all. Would you do me a favour and bring me something then?
Sure, just wait for me here, okay? Don't move under any circumstances. It's a promise.
Yes, I promise. I won't leave.
Thank you.
Lune left around the corner. When I heard her steps far enough away, I looked around and searched for a place where she could lose sight of me. I noticed a half-open door. It seemed like a good place to hide. I could barely see where I was stepping. I was guided by the faint light that seemed to emanate from the other side of the building. Suddenly, the sound of my shoes stepping on something liquid on the floor left me confused. Did I just step in water? I continued to walk awkwardly down the corridor, with my hands crawling along the wall. As I entered and got closer to the end of the corridor, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Oh, I was not expecting that. I mean, did I think it was going to be blood? Sure. But not mutilation. As my eyes became accustomed to the darkness, the silhouette of a hanging, mutilated body emerged from the shadows. But what? Unbidden, a scream escaped my mouth, and when I was aware of it, I quickly put my hands to cover my lips. I continued to look closely at the body that I could barely make out. He looked like a half-naked man, with some parts cut off and apparently tortured. Some bloodstains appeared to be dry, and some did not. On his chest, he had a large, deep gash, which...
You promised me. You said you wouldn't leave. You are also like the others. You promised!
Oh, I think I died. Before I could turn around, I collapsed to the ground, hitting the floor with a thud. All my energy was gone in an instant, and I could only raise my hand to realize that I had a cut as deep as the corpse on the wall. My hands were completely stained with blood, and my consciousness was slowly fading.
You lied to me. Liar! Now you will not be able to escape from my side, nor leave me alone.
I completely lost consciousness. Okay, so I was right that I shouldn't trust her, but clearly not to the extent that I should have been. So I just thought she was going to keep me innocently trapped in her world. Not brutally murder me. Yep, I can see why that's the bad ending.
You shouldn't have run away from a promise.
Well, in my defense, that wasn't my choice. Okay, so I think this was the last choice we had before we reached our ending. So what was if we this time search for books? How about going to the library? Perhaps we can find something written about it.
Good idea. Nearby, there's a big one. Follow me.
Lune grabbed my hand once again and led me to the entrance of the library. As usual, there was no one inside. Yep, that's because they're all dead in the buildings. We both entered carefully, almost half guiltily, as if we were a pair of timid thieves.
I'll have a look at those over there. I'll let you know if I find anything useful.
Sure, Lune. I completely believe you. As for me, I looked at a shelf and browsed through the different categories, as well as in the titles that most caught my attention. Books about witchcraft, fairies, myths and legends. But there was nothing interesting in them, not even those related to dreams. After a while,
Lune broke the silence.
Any good news? I don't see any.
No, nothing. There is no mention of any green moon, no mention of spirits and dreams or anything like that. I'm starting to feel a bit stupid searching and reading about these things, if it weren't for the fact that I'm stuck here myself.
You didn't believe in this kind of thing before?
They have always seemed like children's stories to me. I never thought that something like this could exist or happen.
So, now we are here. You are here. And luckily, so am I. You have me and I have you. Right?
I mean, I feel like I should say yes just for my continued survival.
You don't have to worry about anything. I will keep looking at this other shelf.
Uh-huh. She's found the answer already, hasn't she? She's burnt the book. I was tired from all that was going on, so I laid my head on the table and covered my ears. A moon of strange colour. A dream from which I must awake. What does it all mean? There must be something I'm missing. I am beginning to feel desperate. I think Lune mentioned that normally none of this would happen. So does that mean I have a low chance of coming back? I think I'm just wasting time that may be working against me. The best way to solve this is for Lune to tell me absolutely everything she knows. I looked up and searched for Lune. Lune, where are you? I wanted to ask you something. Before I could get any answer, the bells of the town clock rang out with thunderous force. The bells? That means the clock is ticking, right? Almost without thinking, I ran out of the library. I reached the centre of the town, where the bells were ringing. I didn't promise not to move in this run, did I? I mean, this isn't going to be an excuse to brutally murder me again. I looked around, and there was still no one there. But indeed, the moon seemed to be moving, or at least it was not as I remembered it. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps running towards me only accentuated my surprise. Lune grabbed my back tightly. I could feel the tip of her warm yet cool fingers through the fabric of my clothes, like a touch beyond the physical and symbolic. I said nothing. No words came out of my mouth during that moment.
Don't go! Don't go without me!
Lune's words echoed in my head more than ever. For the first time, she seemed to show a sadness and despair in her tone that she had not shown before. Perhaps I judged her too soon, although it's normal given the situation I'm in. But I didn't stop to think about it either. A kind of ghost girl who has been here, alone, for God knows how long, with no one to talk to, relating, laughing or crying. And now that I come along, almost as a miracle or a gift to her, I judge her in this way, doubting her word. Maybe I have been wrong. I pulled her away from me to see her face again.
I'm sorry. I got carried away not seeing you sitting there. Before I knew it, you were already running, and I couldn't catch up with you.
No. Forgive me, Lune. It was my fault.
Yours? Yes. That's right. You have certainly broken your word as a gentleman. But here you are. Really, you scared me. I know we've only known each other for a very short time, but I don't want to be away from you again. Please.
I know. I have noticed it myself. I don't want to walk away from you like that either. You are the one who came and helped me the most while I am stuck here.
Finally, you admit it. It's obvious that you need me.
Just kidding. So, why are you in such a hurry to come here?
Well, I wouldn't know exactly. I heard the bows and I wanted to come and check if... I don't know. I was thinking about a lot of things, like time is still passing while I'm here, or whatever. I guess part of me still doesn't quite believe in all this. And deep down, I thought that maybe I could still find someone. Although, when I saw with my own eyes that no one was there, I admit that I felt frozen inside me. I still don't know if I can get out of here, or how. And when you hugged me like that, I realized something. That I also, in a way, care about you.
I see. It makes sense. I don't blame you for running away. I guess I didn't think about how you feel after all. I've been wandering here forever. I imagine it can't be easy for you. But I have an idea. Come, take my hand.
Lune gripped my hand tightly again. The touch of her skin, again, brought me closer to her warmth. The sounds of their footsteps were no longer alone, making their way through the silence. We ran even though we were not really in a hurry. We ran, daring the darkness of the streets like two shooting stars, passing through a strange, ephemeral night. We arrived at the doors of a tall building. We entered without obviously being stopped by anyone. We climbed up the stairs to the roof. Before us lay the whole town beneath our feet, in complete silence, in complete loneliness. No, it is not loneliness. I gripped Lune's hand tightly to feel the mixture of sensations coursing through my being.
So, here we are. I thought being closer to the sky would help you think more clearly. After all, it always helps me to come to these kinds of places. Just sitting and looking at the horizon is something that calms me down.
I looked at the horizon as Lune said. Although I was still full of doubts and confusion for a moment, I felt really calm and accompanied. I mean, with every hour I spent here, totally lost, I never stopped to think of anything but going out or waking up. And now, perhaps, I am seeing everything in a very different way. Lune seemed to really understand or know about this feeling I'm feeling right now. This feeling that has been haunting me since I was a child. You know, that feeling of being in a place where you don't quite belong. Isolation against your will. Becoming a mere spectator to the rest. I'm sure Lune knows what I mean, since she, by all she says, she has always been this way.
Hey, Darren?
Yes, what is it?
There's something I've been wondering. What happens once you get out of here?
In fact, that's something I was wondering about too. But for you, what will happen to you once I'm gone? Will you wander these streets forever?
I guess so. Or maybe I'll wait for you to come back one day.
To come back?
Yes. Waiting for you. I really don't want you to go. Although I understand that you want to do it, but still. That doesn't stop a pang in my chest from rising at the thought of it.
All this really confuses and divides me. On the one hand, I would like to spend more time with her, but on the other hand, I obviously wanted to wake up. What should I do? You know what? If this was my first run through, I might feel bad for you and want to stay, but I know you're a bit of a murderous psychopath, so you know what? I think I want to go home. Lune, I think I'd better get back as soon as possible.
Oh, you are right. I I understand. Yes, I understand. You know, I think this is all my fault. Yes. Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's all my fault. That's why. That's why.
Lune quickly moved away from me in the blink of an eye. What's going on? Am I about to get pushed off the roof? Lune!
Oh, I'm sorry. I let myself go for a moment. But I have a clear idea of what happens and how you can wake up.
I'm about to get shoved off the roof. Lune perched on the edge of the building. Lune! What are you doing?
All of this is my fault. That this exists. That you are here. And that you also want to leave. I just need to disappear.
Before I could grab her arm, she landed her foot out in the void and let herself fall. Oh, that was a juicy crunch. But you know what? I think it ended up better than me being pushed off. Just as her body hit the ground, everything went dark. My voice never reached her ears. My hand never reached her. I couldn't manage to save her. I couldn't do anything. The first rays of light came through my bedroom window. Everything disappeared, but the memory of her remained latent in me. The sound of the impact haunted me deeply. Almost without being able to help myself, I shouted her name again as if I had just woken up from a bitter nightmare. Everything that happened tonight, or that night, rather, when had what happened? I was trying to remember something painful, but I had to get up to start my duties once again. Yes, one more time. Burying the past and casting aside the pain, as I always did. Bearing the guilt of doing nothing, of being nothing. I just wonder if anything would really change tonight.
No. Nothing will change if you run away. You decided to leave. You and I were everything. That was our destiny. It is what you had to face. But now, you will bear this loneliness like the moon every night.
Bad ending. Your mirage only served to lengthen your pain. Wait, so by being able to escape I got a bad ending? Okay then, we're back. So I'm gonna assume that saying I want to stay with the murderous psychopath is how we get the good ending, right? Lune. I want to stay with you. I want to be by your side, even if it means staying here. Or return, but with you. I don't want to leave you behind like before.
Darren! Are you serious? I feel the same as you. I don't want to be separated from you. It makes me so happy to hear you say that. But the moon is beginning to disappear. Maybe we don't have much time left together.
But surely you know the way for...
Darren,
Lune took my hand once again.
come. Let's go inside for a moment.
Lune took me inside the building. She didn't say anything else, but I could feel her sadness wash over me. We opened the door to a room. The light was off. I couldn't see clearly beyond the silhouette of the old furniture. There was a bed.
Come, lie down with me. and I lay down on the bed. To my right, I could see a clock, showing the sunrise very early. She hugged me tightly and clung to my side. She never left my side. I couldn't see her well, but I knew we were both looking at each other. We both embraced each other in silence.
I must confess to you that I knew everything. I knew all about you.
Know what? She covered my mouth with her finger and kept talking.
From you. I know all about you. Remember how I've always been stuck here? Well, I have been able to observe you as well as the others. Obviously, I haven't watched you since you were born, but I found you. I found you when you were a child. I could see beyond the carcass of your flesh and bone, because I saw your emotions, your pain and wounds. I saw your grief, your mind, your heart and your soul. I saw you. I noticed you because you stood out from the rest of the shadows that populate the world. You stood out above the echo of time and trapped in the night for me, endless. That's why, when I was able to bring you with me, I didn't think twice. I gave everything I had to be close to you. When I saw you asleep on the soft grass, I lay beside you and lulled you to sleep. Because that's what you are to me, Darren. My dream come true.
Lune hugged me tightly and pulled my face to her chest, not allowing me to move.
And I know it. I know that time is coming to an end. My time with you. I know. It's been a very short time together. But for me, it's been more than that. I know that thou must now awake. And I must go back to my nightmare.
Wait, so all the dead body we saw, is that going to be the person she had watched before and decided it was the love of her life? Am I just one of many? I don't feel special anymore.
Never forget what you are to you and to me, Darren.
While she was telling me all this, I tried to break away and scream. I couldn't do it. My tears slipped, and before I knew it, light was streaming through the window. Her touch, her warmth, all vanished with the first rays of morning. She was gone. She disappeared. I got up in despair and anguish, looking for her. I called out her name, but she didn't respond. I opened the window doors and looked outside. Cars returned to the streets. Colour returned to the sky. Everything was starting to turn again. But me, I felt that I had died inside. I felt that I had left behind something extremely important to me. Something very important. Why was I crying? Did I have a nightmare? I began to forget why I felt this way, and when all the doubts assailed my mind, my attention was interrupted by the stream of traffic and people that overshadowed my memories. I could no longer remember what happened. I could no longer remember what I had dreamt. The day passed quietly, but with a certain restlessness in the depths of my heart. Everything was as usual, but then, why did I feel this way? The night was upon me again, and I began to close my eyes to wrap myself in the dreamlike cloak again. My whole self was disintegrating. My mind was leaving me and giving way to yet another dream. To one more dream. To our dream. Our illusion. There we go, the good ending. Maybe the moon will hear you.
Okay, so time to check out the last decisions when we refuse to go with her. I've got to say, even though knowing she's a monster and murderous and psychotic and a little unhinged, the good ending's kind of cute. No, I won't go with you. I'm sorry, but I don't know you. I'll manage on my own.
Oh, I understand. Don't worry. Go, and I hope you find a way to wake up.
Thanks, Lune. I'll see you then. Thank you for giving me an idea of what is going on.
You're welcome. Take care.
I mean, she can't be too mad at me, can she? I mean, I haven't actually promised her anything. This is no reason for her to kill me this time. Maybe.
Lune looked visibly annoyed, but she left and I started to wander through those empty, lonely and silent streets. Only the sound of my footsteps broke the gloomy atmosphere. And so, I went on my way. Do you really want that? You can't leave.
That's not true, and we both know it.
I kept walking through the streets, but there was no one there. I looked inside the houses, through the windows, and nothing. Nobody. I was all alone. The dreary atmosphere began to make my senses start to fire. Turning every corner, I expected a person to be there. Behind every unimportant noise, my imagination made me think it was someone. In every shadow, I thought I saw a silhouette. But it was all my imagination. My imagination, right? I haven't seen Lune again either. I wonder if I was right to go off on my own, but come on. This is all too strange. I still don't quite understand it. Suddenly, a scream emerged from the silence.
Help me! Why? Why?
As soon as I heard that scream, I ran to look for the source of the voice. A voice that sounded somewhat familiar, but before I knew it, my legs were already running and I found myself in a dark alley. Hello? Is anybody there? I shouted at the top of my lungs, but got no response. The whole place was in a cold silence. Or so I thought.
Why did you have to go? Why?
That voice. I turned darkly to look into the face of the voice behind me. You are... Before I could finish speaking, a great pressure went through my chest.
I should have seen this coming.
The sound of the blood drops froze my heart and my tongue. Lune had been following me all this time, and she stabbed me with a sharp knife. Our gazes met as my body went numb with panic. You... Why? I gasped as I collapsed to the floor.
Why? Why? That's what I'm asking you. Why did you have to leave? You should have wanted to be by my side. With me. With me. Now, you will go back to sleep, won't you? Sleep forever. With me. Together. Of a dream from which we will never awake.
Bad ending. You should have not cut the threads of destiny.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
And we have learned one very important lesson in horror movies.
If you hear the scream of some potential victim, don't be a hero, don't try and save them, you will die. Okay, well, let's get our last death, shall we? I don't think anything will happen if I don't listen to you.
Don't worry, nothing would happen even if I was alone.
No way! You need to stay by my side, and there's no argument about it. In any case, we should now think about what we could do. Don't you agree?
You're right. What's your idea?
We could walk some more, or maybe go somewhere else?
Okay, so actually, I don't think that was going to give us a different ending.
wonder if it gives us any other choices. Nah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that playthrough of Lune and her illusion with my many, many deaths by yonder that apparently we can't even escape from in our dreams. If you've enjoyed this series so far, then the good news is there has been a newest release, so I will be getting to that game very soon. So if you'd like to stick around, then please remember to subscribe to this channel. But other than that, hope you have a spooky day and I'll catch you next time, guys.